Hey guys, this is Bharadwaj with PhoneArena.com, and today I have the LG G2 recently launched versus the LG Optimus G Pro, both LG devices, and we are going to do a quick hands-on comparison of both. So the LG G2 recently launched is actually a Galaxy S4 competitor with very similar specs, like for example you have a 5.2 inch screen and a very thin bezel body and a Snapdragon 800. So pretty much top end specs, and this is absolutely LG's flagship phone right now. The Optimus G Pro, on the other hand, is actually a Samsung Galaxy Note competitor, which the Note 2 competitor perhaps, with a huge screen, a 5.5-inch screen on the front, pretty top-end specs, like for example, you have the Snapdragon 600 here, and you have a huge battery, 3140 mAh. So that's the LG Optimus G Pro, primarily aimed at the Galaxy Note series of devices. But of course, it doesn't come with a stylus, but that's what LG is placing the G Pro at. So let's quickly compare the design of both these phones. As you can see, they almost look the same. The LG G2 probably looks more like the Nexus 4 perhaps, but with the smaller bezel, very thin bezels even at the top and the bottom. You can see that hardware buttons are taken out and instead are replaced with software buttons. And the biggest design change in terms of G2 with respect to any other phone is that there are no side controls. The sides are completely empty. You don't have any controls at all, and instead they have placed the controls on the back here with the home lock button and the lock switch perhaps, and below the camera you can see the up and down volume rocker. So they have put the controls on the back, which is awkward at first, but then you'll get used to it. The G Pro, on the other hand, is actually more traditional. It has more bulk than the G2. You can see that the thickness here is obviously much higher than the G2 here. And you can notice that the design is pretty much traditional in terms of phones. You have the controls on the right side and the left side. In fact, you have a special button here on the side that's for the quick memo, and then you have the volume rocker here and the power button. Nothing special in terms of design. You can see that they have used plastic completely on both the phones, but this phone alone has a stainless steel hardened steel in the middle, making it a little bit bulkier than usual and also a bit heavier. So that's a bit of design and build between the two phones. In terms of ergonomics, you can see that handling the G Pro perhaps is tougher than handling the G2, which is a lot nicer in a single hand. The bezels too help a lot in terms of handling, and in every aspect of the ergonomics the bezel obviously helps. And the backside controls too are pretty much different, as I said earlier. So that is the difference between the design, build and ergonomics between these two devices. So moving on to other bits of hardware, you can see that both have beautiful displays. Both are really beautiful LG displays, IPS LCD, but the sizes are different, 5.5 inch 1080p and 5.2 inch 1080p. Both have excellent viewing angles and brightness, contrast, and every bit similar between the two. In fact, we would say that the G2 is a bit more special, and we think that's due to the pixel density or probably perhaps the color balance of these two displays. But then, yeah, both these have really awesome displays, which is a really good thing coming from LG. LG is used to make beautiful displays, and that hasn't changed with both these devices. Now, talking of the camera on the back of these devices, the LG G2 has a 13 megapixel camera unit on the back, and very similarly, the LG G Pro, Optimus G Pro, also has the 13 megapixel camera on the back. But the main difference between the both, although they both are very high quality cameras, that produce great pictures is the optical image stabilization that is on the G2. You can notice a bit of difference in terms of video too, because the G Pro is powered by the Snapdragon 600 processor and can record 1080p video at 30 fps, while the G2 is powered by the Snapdragon 800 processor and can record 1080p video at 60 fps. And if you noticed, both these phones have the glossy plastic bags, and both are highly attracting fingerprints, so it does look bad somewhat and probably even slightly slippery too. So that's that. Moving on to other aspects of the hardware, we have the internals. As we repeatedly said, this is running on the Snapdragon 800 platform and this is the Snapdragon 600. Both are quad-core chips. This is running on a higher clock frequency at 2.2 gigahertz, while this is at a far lower frequency at 1.7 to 1.9 gigahertz. So that's a major difference. And both have 2 gigabyte of RAM, and the internal storage has variants at 16 and 32 gigabytes for both. But the main difference is that the G Pro has a removable back, which means that you can replace the battery first, and of course you can add a micro SD card here, which means that you can expand the storage beyond 32 GB. That might be really useful for some, but the G2 has nothing. It's completely sealed. It has only 16 gigabytes or 32 gigabytes corresponding to the variant that you choose. So that's the main differences between the hardware of the Optimus G Pro and the LG G2. So moving on to other aspects, which brings us to software. So in terms of software, the LG G2 runs on Android 4.2.2, while the Optimus G Pro runs on the Android 4.1.2. So you can see a bit of difference here. Even with the notification draw, you have Q slide apps here, but instead you have brightness and call volume here. You don't have call volume on the G Pro. So we'll take you to the settings, which is a single list on the G Pro, while it is a tabbed experience on the LG G2. So you can see the software information here, which will tell you that the Android version on the G Pro is 4.1.2 and the G2 is 4.2.2. So that's a major difference. And another hardware level difference is the home key, which is hardware in G Pro. It has a notification LED built into it, unlike the G2, which has a separate notification LED on the top. Not much of a difference, but the home key with its light makes a good impression. So otherwise, you can see that the app drawers have changed a bit. Maybe LG has gone with less modifications on the G2 software. You don't have the downloads tab or the widgets tab or something like that. But otherwise, they are nearly identical and offer almost the same options as before. As you can see with the contextual menu on the home screen here, almost everything is the same, but the LG G2 is obviously an upgraded version of the software, and hopefully we think the G Pro will also get the same with the exact same features. So that's it about the software. When it comes to battery life, you already know that the LG G2 has a 3000 mAh battery, while the LG Optimus G Pro has a 3140 mAh battery. Both have huge batteries, but since the screen size is less on the G2, we think the G2 will perform much better in terms of battery life. We'll be doing a battery test and benchmarks of both these phones soon, and we'll also provide an in-depth comparison. This is just a quick hands-on comparison. So that's it about the LG Optimus G Pro versus the LG G2. Do hit the like button if you like this video, and do subscribe to our channel for more comparison videos like these. Do let us know what you think in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.